So I revisited Wrong Turn, the OG Wrong Turn, made back in 2003, and I forgot how much of a gem it was. Now this film alone spawned a very lengthy franchise, one that I get lost in, and I don't mean that in a good way. Me and the old lady was browsing some free with ad YouTube horror movies when I came across that all familiar movie poster with the beautiful Eliza Dushku, in which I had a huge crush on as a child, and I still do. I first discovered her in The New Guy, which is another DVD I had in heavily rotation as a child. Upon watching this movie again, I was genuinely surprised on how much I enjoyed it. How much I enjoyed watching it again. Seeing these stars connect really gave me a sense of nostalgia. I already mentioned Eliza, but it even has Desmond from like Ghost Ship, if you guys remember that. It has Julian Richings, which is known for his numerous roles, but I know him best as Death in Supernatural, which is one of my favorite TV shows. This movie really has a stacked cast, and I never realized that before. It even has the old girl from The Lips of an Angel music video. Now when we get into the story of Wrong Turn, it's nothing to write home about. The story itself is pretty simple. But a simplistic story, I feel like, is also part of its charm. Chris is in a rush to a new job interview, but is stopped short due to a dangerous chemical spill on the road. So he finds a way around, inevitably takes a wrong turn, where he crashes into another vehicle belonging to the other supporting characters. You have Jesse, Carly, Scott, Francine, and Evan. The movie quickly kills off the couple with the raging hormones, Francine and Evan. They just can't get their hands off to each other. They're like, oh, we're trapped in this road in the middle of nowhere? Hey boy, pull your pants down, I'm gonna suck your dick. Fuck yeah, the man's living the dream. And the movie moves along quite rapidly, even though sometimes it does feel like the runtime is padded a little bit, with its only 84-minute runtime. The main thing I think is slept on in this movie is the creative transitions and the impressive camera work that came out of this movie. For a lower budget early 2000s horror movie, this really impressed me. I believe its few scenes, such as the door lock transition here, and the transition in the woods at the burning of the tower, really sets it apart from the masses of horror movies that went out during those times. The mountain men are really interesting to follow, even though you don't get a lot of screen time of them in the early action sequences. I think it's well done, and I was even caught off guard when Francine was killed and they brought her corpse back to the house and starts to dismember her, and the remaining cast is stuck in the house unbeknownst to the mountain men, and they have to escape the house while the mountain men are asleep. It definitely takes the movie pace from up here to slow and suspenseful. I also think this moment right here is utterly fucking hilarious. That's fucking golden. Now I can't say this movie isn't full of the tropes. We have the boyfriend who sacrifices himself so the others can get away. We have the grieving girlfriend, which is just too dumb or too slow to just follow fucking directions, keep on going, and this of course results in her death. Stupidity. The movie eventually is left with Jesse and a wounded Chris on the run for survival. In the midst of this, we also get some law enforcement that is killed, and we even get Jesse who was kidnapped. And Chris has to make a decision either to go rescue her or go run off and claim his own freedom. I mean, she's a stranger. What you gonna do? This is actually, I think, the best part of the film, and it's not too often that you get two survivors out of a horror movie. The climax doesn't last that long, but it was cool seeing Jesse and Chris get the upper hand, killing off the mountain man and riding off in the sunset together in the mountain man's old ass creepy Jeepers Creepers-esque truck. It's a real shame you never get to see or hear about these characters ever again. Overall, I think this is a film that you can go back and rewatch every couple of years and actually enjoy. It's not an all-time classic movie, but it will fulfill your Saturday night watch if you want just an old gem to revisit. Even though I think this franchise starts off decent, the overall quality of these products quickly decline, and I can't just sit there and binge watch these movies. I can watch them one by one sporadically, but all in one sitting, I don't think I could do that. I actually haven't watched the 2021 reboot movie, but I am thinking about doing a first time watching or a watch along with the Patreon members. That would be something I'd be interested in. There are certain characteristics about this movie that does set itself apart from the other sequels and prequels and reboots. This is a rated R movie, but I genuinely feel like this could be a PG-13 movie. There isn't any hard nudity. There's some language. When they discover the house, there's of course some body parts and stuff like that. But overall, this movie isn't a gore fest either. Compared to the rest of them, this is a walk in the park. The cinematography was impressive, as I mentioned before, but also the practical effects in this. Chris being shot in the leg, I was like, ooh. The boyfriend being shot in the back by arrows, I was like, wow. They was able to sell some of these kills without actually showing it on screen. You don't see Francine actually get dismembered. It's all about the camera work, and I feel like they capitalized on that pretty well. The makeup effects were great. The makeup effects on the Mountain Man were great. I love how they each had their own identity. Julian really set the standard when it came to Three Fingers, which is a character that carried over sequel after sequel after sequel, the prequel. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Is it overrated? Is it underrated? What is your favorite wrong turn movie of the franchise? Did I miss anything in this review? Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Happy New Year, and here's to a solid year of getting shit done. So until next time, adios.